Hey, it's White Boy Chris. If the Pat Downs ever made you laugh, then join our Patreon and support us. Get bonus content, a t-shirt, or an autographed copy of Rabbit, Miss Pat's autobiography. Visit MissPatComedy.com for the link to the Patreon, and while you're there, join our Facebook group.
Welcome back to the Pat Down. I'm here with my good friend Chris.
Hello.
My good friend Dion.
What up, y'all?
We're here today. What we talking about?
Oh, God, what with Section 8 housing?
We're talking about being on welfare, Section 8, how I got off the program because I lied and they took the shit from me.
Judge Joe Brown.
Judge Joe Brown and just growing up in America. Hey, and I saw a bitch with 5 buckets of Tropicainical.
Just wait till y'all hear it.
Tropicainical orange juice.
Yes.
And I started to hate. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back after the music.
Better get up, get out, and tune into this podcast. This Pat spit the truth, spit the real fact. Nothing but the ugly, classy at the same time. Pat got the flavor, these are not the same lines. That's the politics, she been on the real grind. It could be pretty but ugly at the same time. Just tune in, put your lock on the spin down. Ain't no need for the wait and turn it up now. What you talking about? Is it real though? They cut the game, you get no play like Nintendo. You wasted time, turn it up, nothing but the ugly. Straight off the top, everything she say, you know it's funny. Full blast, this a taste of the future. Listen on your iPhone, on your desktop computer. Share it, tweet it, ain't no way to beat it. Nothing but the ugly, turn it up and gon' repeat it. Nothing but the ugly.
Welcome to another episode of the Pat Down. I'm here with my good friend. Sit down. I didn't realize it was 3 of them.
My good friend, Sit Your Ass Down is in the building, y'all. What up, Sit Your Ass Down?
What up?
Why you standing up? Sit your ass down.
This is the poor girl that got it. She was in the corner for 45 minutes during one podcast. And then you look at her and you go, do you like that podcast? She goes, no.
She ain't gonna like this one either.
So you made her stand there another
Sit your
30
ass down. And if you breathe hard, I got something for you. Welcome back to another episode of
I'm
the Pat
Chris,
Down.
that's Dion.
That's Chris, that's Dion. I'm sorry, y'all. You know, I have to raise these kids in the middle of doing this shit. I'm somebody's mama. I didn't even want to be a mama. Motherfucker just dropped these kids off at my house and gave them to me. I shouldn't have no kids.
Uh-oh, she choking on an orange, y'all.
You guys doing okay?
They like, fuck you, Chris.
Like,
We wouldn't have to be quiet if your ass wasn't here.
It's true. She's right. It is my fault. I'm sorry.
Always blaming the white man.
Yep, blame Whitey.
I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't even have no kids. I should be somewhere living my best life. But as you
give
know,
them back. You do know that.
I can't give them back. I fucking love the kids. So
You hear
shut
that?
up. No conversation.
She loves you guys.
And the rule
you
in
know.
my house is don't talk to each other unless you pay bills.
I'm not
It's
gonna
like being born in jail.
right. Honestly.
Motherfuckers passing notes.
I love them. But they talk. Be quiet, y'all. I'm doing a podcast, and then you can be done. I want to talk about today because I was having this conversation with my husband, right? And as I'm having this conversation with my husband, I'm a landlord. I own a property in Atlanta. And one of the conversations we was talking about is being on government assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Pat, you shouldn't talk about that. And I'm like, why? He said, because people going to think you bougie. I'm like, no. I used to be on Section 8. I used to be on welfare. I used to be on food stamps and Medicaid. And my frustration with a lot of this shit is people stand on the system too long.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that these systems are here to help you but not carry you.
Right.
So he was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Pat? So I said, be quiet, girl. I said, nobody should be able to be on Section 8 for 30 fucking years. Section 8 is where they help you with your rent.
Right.
And he was like, well, aren't you being a little bougie? I said, unless you special need kids or you special need or the elderly. If you're a strong motherfucker like me, you and Dion, nobody should be helping us with our rent. Right. And if it is, should be for a term limit. And on top of that, a lot of times when you rent your property out to Section 8, a lot of these motherfuckers don't know how to act. They tear your fucking property up. And the government do absolutely nothing. But they beg you to get on these programs, but they don't protect the landlord. And now they have a little program in place. I rented to a section. I was on Section 8. When I was on Section 8, I had 6 fucking kids in a 5-bedroom house. My rent was nothing.
Yeah, so like zero, literally zero. What's the
My
rent
rent
difference?
was. Hold on for a second, y'all. Come here. Who got the iPad on? Go downstairs in the living room. Go downstairs in the living room. Fuck y'all, Lord.
They scattered like.
Go downstairs in the living room. I'm sorry. I'm not this mean. I love these kids.
Yes, she is.
See how fast?
Yes. They were like, freedom! I got on here like the Underground Railroad.
We talked about the giftedness of black athletes last time. That's why. They're getting away from
running from their black mothers. So my rent was literally zero.
Okay.
I used to have 6 kids, which 4 of them was my sister's and 2 of them was mine. And so, I mean, I was on welfare, lazy as fuck, watching TV, wasn't trying to work on that until the Bill Clinton changed everything. But I never tore up the unit that I lived in. I took good care of this house.
Right.
So when I bought the house, which I still own to this day, I wanted to give back. And when I wanted to give back, I said, I'm going to rent this house out to Section 8, so somebody can have a better place to live. Well, I rented my house out of Section 8, and this ghetto bitch tore my house up. The bitch went in my wall and stole my plumbing.
Were you essentially subleasing it so you get the Section 8, but then you're letting them live? No.
I'm the landlord. I rent the house on Section 8 to them,
I got
and the government pays the rent.
Okay.
Well, this girl tore up my house, y'all. Literally tore my fucking house up. My insurance company paid me $18,000 in damage.
Jeez.
She had her uncles come in and take the copper out of the walls because I had an older house that I had remodeled and tore it up, and they gave me absolutely nothing, which pisses me off now. Being somebody who was previously on the program who wanted to give back, I personally think that nobody owes you shit in this country.
Right.
Nobody should pay your rent for 30 years. It should be a time limit on it. You should have 10 years at the most to be on Section 8.
So here in Indiana, we still have township trustees, but we had very hyper local charitable organizations in the beginning of the state. And so if you can go to the township trustee and you can say, I've got to pay for school clothing, I can't make it this month, or I can't pay my light bill, or I can't do this. And so they'll float you for a couple months. They'll pay the bill, or they'll help you with rent, or they'll get you caught up. But out of 900 applications, this one trustee only granted 200 because she'd walk in and she'd say, "Well,
it's totally different.
Look how I mean it's meant to
That's
be
not Section 8.
But I'm saying that system of government assistance is sort of like what you're talking a little bit about.
No, because we have that too. They do that in Atlanta.
Okay,
and this happened in Atlanta. They do that with when they have a certain amount of money to help people pay their rent, pay their utility bills. That's more like an energy assistant, a rent assistant.
Okay.
Section 8 is something that you can have, and you can actually pass it down after you die in some states.
Really?
In Atlanta, if you die, and if I'm not mistaken, if somebody dies and they're on Section 8, the next kid in line can get it. It's almost like if your mama left you a check.
Sure.
So, or some money or inheritance.
It makes sense if your mom's on drugs and she's the only person, their kids need a place to live.
No. The mama can be 80 and you could be 40. She died, you get a Section 8. Okay. I think. I'm not for sure. But my whole thing is why I want to do a podcast is because I'm a landlord. And this lady tore up my house over $18,000. And the government...
Was that the lady that you was on Judge Joe Brown for?
Oh, that was the other bitch. She wasn't Section 8. She was
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was
Miss Pat went on Judge Joe Brown. You ain't seen that episode?
No.
I will show you. I will show you that episode.
How you find it?
I think it's on YouTube.
Oh, I've been looking for that episode. I was on. So she tore up my house. But okay, this one tore up my house before. No, that one tore up my house first. Let me back up before I get to the Section 8 lady. So I rented to this lady since he brought up Judge Joe Brown. I got to go on a whole different thing. So she stayed in my house a year. I'm renting it. And I got a pretty nice house in Atlanta, 4-bedroom, about 3,500 square feet. And bitch moved out, tore up my door. Her son stabbed my door with a fucking axe. And I said, look, just come, trying to be nice to her. I said, look, just come and buy me 2 more doors and clean the house out. And I give you a deposit back. Well, she wanted to be stupid. She fucking trashed my house, left my doors tore up, fucked up my carpet, everything. I thought dog scratched up my wood floor. So I told her, I said, look, 20 years ago, bitch, I would have whooped your ass. I'm too old now. I'm going to have to get you like the white people. I'm going to sue the fuck out of you. I'm seriously.
So you went to Judge Joe Brown.
Before I got to Judge Joe Brown, I opened the phone book because she ran on me. And I literally fucking flipped the pages. She worked for MARTA. That's the transportation in Atlanta. I called every department. I said, hey, do you know this bitch right here? Because she fucking tore up my house and she didn't pay my goddamn rent. And the lady's like, ma'am, this is the maintenance department. I said, well, if you see that bitch you tell her I want my goddamn rent money. So make a long story short, finally I got the lawyer department, and then you know black folks don't like black folks to fucking go after each other. So I've got this black Christian lady. She said, ma'am, God don't want black people to sue black people.
What sort of bullshit is that?
This is what she said to me. I said, well, let me tell you this, bitch. Did no white bitch tear up my house? A black bitch tore up my house. So I think God want me to sue this black bitch. That's what I told her. I said, I want my goddamn money. The bitch tore up my house and she ran off with my husband money, rent money. Don't nobody run off with my motherfucking husband money but me. So she ended up calling her. She said, I don't know who this crazy bitch is, but she was a manager too at MARTA. She said, this bitch is gonna sue you. You need to fucking make out arrangement. I made out arrangement, right? And then she said, well, I said, I want my fucking $2,500. I filed the papers and everything. I filed a paper to sue this bitch.
Right.
So make a long story short, 2 weeks. So we set it up and she ended up paying me. She did. She gave me $2,500. Okay. Well, 2 weeks later, Judge Joe Brown called. I'm like, no, I don't really want to go on TV. They said, well, just tell us what happened. I said, well, the bitch trashed my house. She left all these fucking booty beads. I'm picking up with my bare hand. I didn't even know the beads came out her ass or nothing. My husband's like, put them booty beads down. I'm like, what the fuck is booty beads?
What is a booty bead?
Anal beads.
Oh, jeez.
She calls them booty beads. But for those of you who don't know what that meant,
like, you know, maybe
anal beads are sex toys.
Yeah,
I thought maybe
that
baby
one puts
bottles
in the
no booty beads. Like somebody stuck them up her ass and pulled them out. Then when I looked closer, they were kind of dirty. I'm like, oh bitch, I'm really suing you now.
I'm taking you to Judge Joe Brown, ma'am.
You done made me pick up these shitty ass motherfucking beads, and so. I was pissed. That
the episode was just as funny.
Of course it was. Miss Pat breathes and
she
it's
got
funny.
Judge Joe Brown to say booty beads. You know how Judge Joe Brown started. So there were booty beads in the
yeah.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
So I told her, I said, ma'am, I really don't want to go. She was like, oh my God, you're just so funny. What do you do for a living? So you put all of that on the paperwork when you sue somebody. I'm a comedian. So they said, well, do you think we can fire her? I said, I don't know, but the bitch number was on my paperwork. So they called her. So she was like, I want to go to court. I said, you really want to go to court with me, bitch, on national TV? Yeah, I want to go to court. Maybe I get some of my money back from your ass. I said, well, come on, bitch, let's go to
She
court.
hung up the phone. I'm going to be famous.
Oh, yeah. I went to court like a white bitch. I had all my shit.
She had paperwork.
I had paperwork. I had pictures.
Guess who did not go to court like a white bitch?
She went to court like a nigga. And that's why she lost.
She didn't even have nobody with her.
May I ask how goes to court? Help.
Nigga went to court with no paperwork, no witnesses, no receipts.
She
didn't have pictures.
Just the spirit of the Lord.
She was just like, well, I mean, I didn't know. And like,
stop being funny, Miss Pat. Stop being funny. I said, bitch, I ain't being funny with my goddamn money. You got me in this motherfucking courtroom. You know niggas don't like to come to courtroom and shit. Fucking with those slow ass Judge Brown. So we get there, and what the fuck's so funny?
You just called Judge Joe Brown slow.
Slutty Joy Brown.
Slow. She said slow.
Slow Joe Brown. That's
slow
right.
Ass Judge Joe Brown.
Tell me about the booty bead.
That's how I was like, can you speed this shit up? I got
slow talking motherfucker.
I do. Motherfucker, speed up or put a recorder in your ass one and match fast forward so I can get it quicker. So we went to court and the bitch, I ended up winning like $4,800, right? And I got my money back and got rid of her. Then I rented. Then I started showing that Judge Joe Brown tape to everybody who rent my house. Look, bitch, I don't play that shit. I'm too old to fight you. I'm gonna sue the motherfucking shit out of you. Then I get this Section 8 tenant. This bitch ripped all my walls out. I'm crying. They didn't give me a motherfucking thing. They didn't give me shit for this bitch because she was on a government program. So now I truly believe.
Bam, Judge Judy.
Oh, I wish you would Judge Judy for this no working welfare recipient. You know, that shit made me almost vote Republican that day. I said, I see why the Republican don't fuck with you motherfuckers. I almost voted Republican after that shit. When you become a when you become a homeowner and you pay taxes and you start living right, you see why these white people out here crazy than a motherfucker. When you living free like I was off Section 8 eating food stamps, like, why you motherfucker hating on me in line with 4 buckets of grocery? Nigga, cause I can't do it.
Right.
Yeah, so after that, I was like, I truly believe that the program should have a time limit. I don't think you should, unless it's something physically wrong with you. Now, I'm not going to talk about food stamps because everybody can't buy food. Right. But as far as Section 8, I truly believe nobody should pay your rent. Because I got a girlfriend that been on fucking Section 8 for about 30 years.
Homeless people with food stamps?
Right.
Yeah.
Where the fuck they gonna put their groceries, nigga?
Well, you know, no, because in
California, have a refrigerator box with groceries in it. That don't make no goddamn sense.
No, in California, you can buy fast food with food stamps.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
so a lot of places, even they're beginning to let them buy fast food. Yeah, I'm not gonna take food out your mouth, but nobody should. In 5 years, if it's a 10-year program, in 5 years you can become a doctor.
Right.
You can become a lawyer. You can become a teacher. You can educate yourself to become a better person.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And I was a welfare recipient, food stamp line, Section 8 getting bit. So I know how it is to scheme. Each one teach one. I used to have a bit about if the mama get welfare, 9 times out of 10 the daughter gonna get welfare. Welfare is like diabetes. If the mama got it, the daughter might just fucking get it. My mama had diabetes. I had it until I had weight loss surgery.
Right.
It's a fucking cycle. So I truly believe nobody should help you with your rent for longer than fucking 10 years. That's just me.
Yeah.
Unless you got
physically something wrong.
Physically something wrong with you. If you got a kid or if you got a fucking, you an old person, we should help old people. But a healthy motherfucker like some of my friends who've been on Section 8 for 30 years, no bitch, we have helped you long enough. At this time, ho, you should be able to fly.
We're in a white neighborhood and they're walking by going, damn, that black woman is right. I see old white men walking by nodding their heads.
I mean, but my daughter was like, you're a fucking Republican. No, I'm a fucking realness because I've been there. I know that mentality of getting over.
It's not theoretical for you. You lived it. It's not something that you just sat there and, people should have that opportunity. Like, you realize what it is to actually be enabled and then not enabled and how much better your life is now.
The scheme in and of itself, if you're a lazy motherfucker and you found a way to circumvent getting a real job and dealing with other people's shit, of course unless somebody actually fucking makes you get up and do something, why would you change?
Right.
If you got the gravy train rolling, why the fuck, unless you just in it, like, this is what I say about Miss Pat. She's so unique, is that she could have stayed on that gravy train and been like everybody else. But there was something inside her that told her, I'm not like these motherfuckers. I don't want this shit.
Yeah.
That takes a certain level of self-awareness that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. I mean, my ex-wife and I did the math one time. If we quit our jobs and went on every available government program, we were going to make an extra $50 a day. Or $50 a month, I mean. So you look at it and you go, like, I guess if you're just living off of government programs, like, what's the incentive to work? I was working 60 hours a week at that point. So was she. It's like, no, why wouldn't you do that if you don't have to?
Again, let me reiterate this. It's nothing wrong with getting help. It's nothing wrong. We're not talking about the people when your incomes don't allow you to buy the total amount of food that you have, that you need. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about lazy motherfuckers who just want handouts, who've been on the system forever. Like, so I had these kids. I won't say who they are. So I had these kids in the car with me one time, and my son worked at Chick-fil-A. I made my son get a job when he was 14 years old. And my daughter, she ain't fucking working. She go to college, y'all. But anyway, so I set my son down. I said, the world don't owe you shit. Get a job. You're 14 years old. And it's not because you need the money. It's because I'm teaching you life skills. And my son still works today.
Right.
Make a long story short, I had these 2 kids in the car with him one day. And I said, hey, such they nieces and nephews. I said, why y'all ain't got no job yet? They was like, Junebug driving. I'm like, hell yeah, he got a car, he got a job. And I said, why you don't you have a job yet? They was like, well, mama said we can't get no job because if we do, it's going to fuck up her food stamps. And that shit kicked me in my chest.
Yeah.
Because I was like, do you know what you training here? Do you know the mindset that you're putting these kids in? And I know a lot of people going to write in and call in and say, well, Ms. Pat, what about corporate America stealing? We're not talking about corporate America stealing. We're not talking about the government stealing. I'm just talking about the programs that I've been on, and I see people that continue to hinder themselves by staying on these programs. Like I have a girlfriend who always tell me, I'm poor. Even when I was poor, you couldn't tell me I was fucking poor.
Right.
I said, when you feed the brain certain shit, the brains begin to allow you to live that. Mm-hmm. When you tell the brain that you're poor, the brain ain't gonna allow you to function because you done taught the brain you done told the brain you're poor.
Right.
I always said, bitch, I'm rich. I'm going to buy this motherfucking house. I didn't have no clue how I was going to buy my Section 8 house. I wanted to own it by I was 25. Now I became...
She sold crack.
Yeah, she sold drugs. By illegal means. Yeah.
That's not how I bought it. I tell you how I bought my Section 8 house. What happened was, I was an old scheming bitch.
Yeah, it's a lot of fraud.
Listen, it was fraud. So what happened? No, not to buy the house.
Check.
No. So I went and worked for General Motors, right? And when you work, you're supposed to report it. At this time, this is in the 90s, and the first time I worked for General Motors, the unemployment office was not hooked up to the welfare office. Right. So you're supposed to tell the welfare office everything you're doing. Hey, I got a job, and you need to recalculate my rent. Or you need to recalculate my benefits and my Section 8. Fuck them. I'm going to get free rent, and I'm making $20 an hour. Well, the next time I went to go do temp work, they called me, and they was like, hey, bitch, did you work at General Motors? I'm like, how you know, bitch? They said, according to the unemployment office, you owe us $7,000 in back rent. I'm like, what? So, that wasn't enough. So, at the time, I didn't have a $7,000. I had such a great landlord at the time. Bless her soul. I need to call and see if she's still alive. But I had such a great landlord who didn't want me to lose my Section 8 certificate. She gave me the $7,000. And she knew at the time my husband was living with me. And she said, hey. And then I had a husband who probably made $12 an hour at the time that I didn't report either. So I tell her, I said, hey, what we gonna do is, she said, just pay me back monthly, extra with the rent. So we ended up paying her back when we got our taxes. I went and did the same old stupid shit again. So I run into this mean bitch. You know, when you black, the first thing you want to pull is a race card. She said, I've given you 3 chances, and each time you lied. I'm taking your certificate. I'm like, oh, don't take my free rent, bitch. I got all these crack babies. Don't take my free rent, bitch. I'm poor. She said, get a job and tell the truth next time. And she looked at me like a devil. I was like, I hate you, you white bitch. You're racist. She said, but you're going to appreciate me later because you're going to get a job.
And do you?
Nigga, I went out and bought that house. I bought that house, got a job, and got my shit together. And I have to say that was one of the biggest steps in my life, that lady taking that fucking certificate from me. Because I don't know if I would still be on it, but I probably would have been scheming for another 5 years on it. Yeah. And I go home and I tell my, I lost my Section 8 certificate. My husband's like, good, now you'll go to work every day.
Yeah. And I think the older you get, the more you realize, like, I wish I had started X earlier. That lost time, that 5 years, you may not be sitting here with all the opportunities you've got if you hadn't had that happen.
I'm glad my mind opened. I started to and I had I talk about this later all the time, who's my godmama, the caseworker, who told me she used to beat me down about being on welfare. She was like, aren't you ashamed? I'm like, no, bitch, it's free. Free Medicaid, free welfare. She was like, do you understand that you could make way more than you could ever earn? You could earn way more than they could ever pay you. And she started to change my mindset. And it's just like we were talking about on the last podcast about race. You have to, a lot of times, if you don't talk about it, people don't know. You'll be surprised how a conversation bring on a motherfucker who you thought should have know, just don't know, and you teaching them something. And I learned a lot from her. I learned standards, to be honest. She taught me a lot of fucking standards. Her name is Miss Chambers. She like, you shouldn't be on welfare. You shouldn't be on welfare with no man in your house. Why not, bitch? It's free. She said, if you get anything, it should be for your sister kids. But I worked really hard till eventually when my husband went to go work for General Motors full time, to take everybody off of Medicaid, everybody off of welfare.
Yeah, my dad ran a janitorial company when I was a kid, and he hired a lot of poor whites. And they would always say, can you only schedule me for 39 hours this week? I don't want to lose any of my benefits. And he would eventually find a way to fire them after that. Because he thought, if they're going to rip off the taxpayers or if they're going to scheme on them, then what are they going to do when they're cleaning banks for me? You know, it's kind of like if you're like, when you look back, like, did you look at that as like it was free?
It was free. It was like 2 checks. I go work a little bit. But
where did you think the money came from?
You don't know when you're not a part of the system. I didn't know because I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in the world.
Right.
I didn't know it was taxpayers. Like, honestly, when I became a homeowner and I started to really work for what I get, and I was like, this how this shit work? Like, I never thought I would ever get mad at people with food stamps. So I'm here in my neighborhood, and I think I told you this. I'm at Walmart, and I'm sitting there, and I got some frozen juice, and I look over in the bucket, and I used to tell a bit about it. Remember, this bitch had like 5 things of Tropicainical, and I never look up at the person. And I was like, bitch, where do you work at that you can buy 5 Tropicainicals at one time? Not the little gal, the big one. They're like $14 each.
Okay.
You know,
like it's a juice?
The juice, the tropical orange juice,
Oh, okay,
the real
gotcha.
deal with the snap top and the fucking little aluminum foil on the top. You got to peel back. I'm talking about the recyclable container that you can use as a Kool-Aid jug
Right.
when you finish.
Okay.
You remember that jug? So she had 5 in the bucket. And I'm like, bitch, where do you work at? That in the middle of the day, you could just buy 5 things of fucking Tropicainical juice at one time. And I look up and she pulled out a fucking food stamp card. And I was like, this bitch. And I look at my bucket and I got frozen juice. And I was like, oh my God, I got to stop. I feel like a middle-aged white man. I'm hating. And it was a girl my son used to date. She's like, hey, Miss Pat. I'm like, hey, bitch, can you give me one of them orange juice so I can put this frozen shit back? But at that moment, I really felt like a Republican. I had to shake it off. Oh, let me shake the hate off. Not that Republicans are haters. But that day, boy, I was pissed off that bitch had all that orange juice. I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, we're going to finish talking about how do you buy 5 gallons of orange juice and not be broke. All right, y'all, we back. We talking about being on welfare, making changes in your life, eating good. Tropicainical orange juice. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, no,
You're
never saying it
that's
right.
why I had to look at Dion and go, is this one of your Kool-Aid drinks? Is this like grape soda?
I hate that you make me the fucking liaison to white Chris. I really do. Tropicana.
What the fuck is Tropicainical?
I have no idea.
I thought it was some sort of mysterious pineapple drink.
I don't know how I know what you're trying to say.
Y'all gotta stop letting me mispronouncing all these fuck. And y'all just sitting there like we having a great conversation.
Because we're trying to figure out what you're saying.
I know what you're trying to say. I don't want to make you feel like you're fucking up these words.
Tell me, I'm not doing it. Tropicainical. Tropicana. Why I'm putting an anical on it?
I don't know.
The fuck is Tropicainical?
We don't know.
It sounds good though.
Yeah.
That's a new orange juice.
Maybe they'll sponsor this show.
But I love when I fuck. I swear, y'all, I did not fuck up that word intentionally. Shit just come out of my mouth, and for some reason, I think my tongue is long. It just add words.
You have a lot of kids. You don't get a lot.
Yeah, and they don't drink Tropicainical either. They drink Tropicainical. Tropicana.
I shouldn't be laughing at this shit.
Tropicana orange juice. Yeah, Tropicana orange juice. But, seeing her buy that orange juice that day, I was like, I said, I'm really fucking becoming a Republican. I'm hating on the girl for being able to buy better juice.
Right.
Then I'm like, but that's my money she buying that juice with. And so I had to shake it off, y'all. I was like, that's not right. You don't know people's situation. Don't be acting like that. And I gave her a hug and told her, enjoy the juice.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this, because I personally feel like as long as I'm okay, I don't care what you do with whatever money that I've spent in taxes. So now if I'm out here struggling where I'm barely making ends meet and I see you buying 18 Tropicanicas, I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off. But if I'm good and I see you buying Tropicana, I'm not gonna give a fuck.
I don't know. I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I have made $17,000, and then I'm at a point where I'm doing well. And I work so much harder, and I have had so many years of sacrificing and not doing well, not like to get to a point for the ability to pay this much in taxes. And I'm like, why are they eating better than like you get that bill every April 15th and you just go, fuck, and it's probably worse for you because you're a 1099 all over the place. Like, I mean, it at the end, I think it's more opposite for me. Like I
don't mind helping, but I don't want to hinder. Like I don't mind, I said, I'm a Democrat. I would never vote against shit that I might need in the future. It's a bit I used to do, but I don't have a problem with you getting food stamps. But my whole thing is, I don't want you to get food stamps for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if we need to, if I need, because you don't never know when something might happen. Y'all, literally, my husband went down at the beginning of January. What was it? January, he had a torn ACL.
Yeah.
And that rocked my fucking household. It didn't kill us, but it rocked my fucking household.
Yeah.
You talking about a man who fucking made good money and who had to go down to fucking disability and something else's job again, which was probably more than a lot of people paycheck. But still, when your household is functioning at, it didn't break us. Right. But we missed that extra income.
Right.
So it didn't make me need to go apply for food stamp. We fucking still fed the fat kids around here. But I understand everybody has ups and downs in their life, and that's what we're supposed to be here. Everybody, I help you, you help me, and the world's supposed to help each other. My problem is when you abuse the system.
Yeah, no, I've had a lot of friends, and a lot of them even are libertarians who have used, the Healthy Indiana plan for their kids, or which is kind of our Medicaid for Medicaid or American. I don't know what the difference is. Or have used food stamps programs to get by, and it's not a lifestyle. It's like I need temporary help. Like you go, well, you paid all the money when you were productive, and then at this point, if you need to get by, like take the government help. That's kind of what I tell people. Like, if I'm cutting stuff, if I'm trying to save money, I'm starting with the bombs in Yemen. I'm starting with military spending. I'm just reforming entitlements. Like, I'm not the type of person that says our first cut ought to be food stamps
and Medicaid. That shit pisses me off.
Social Security. Yeah.
But I do think that it is interesting to go back and read Bill Clinton's 1992 campaign book, which reads like a Republican's book now. Like, it would be Mitt Romney's campaign book to see the way that he ran in 92. And most of it was about welfare reform. And I know you
did that.
Yeah, I know you talked a lot about that. And a lot of people, like, I've heard people have similar stories where his welfare reform kind of forced them to go, all right, it's the welfare
get up off my ass.
I mean, what were some of the things that kind of forced you? What were the changes and that made it not a lifestyle?
Well, he started taking shit where before they was just giving you just stay at home and vote and stay the fuck at home. Well, when Bill Clinton came along, he's the first person I ever voted for. When he came along, he started taking shit. He said, hey, you're not going to get food stamp. You're not going to get welfare. You're not going to get Section 8 if you don't get out and go and educate yourself. If you go out and get a job. Right. So when they taking shit, they're forcing you to get up off your ass. Like now, in certain places in this world, in this country, you can't get welfare. You can't add. I heard they just started back allowing you to add kids. But Bill Clinton, they stopped it. Whatever amount of kids you had on welfare, you had any more you can add. So that would force me to get up off my ass because I wasn't getting no extra $40 for no more children. Right. Oh, I just add this child here. They gonna give another $100 food stamp. No, motherfucker. You can get food stamp, but you couldn't get welfare. Right. And when you add another mouth, that little extra money they were giving you help. So you're like, oh, I gotta feed this motherfucker. This motherfucker need Pampers. So that what made me get up when they started to take free shit from me. And it woke me the fuck up, especially when I lost that free rent. Yeah. You make a motherfucker lose free rent, they either gonna become homeless or they gonna go out and do what the fuck they gotta do to have a roof over their baby head. And real mama survive. The bitch gonna go get 3 jobs. Right. That's what I believe. Yeah. That's the only problem I have with it. And and being a landlord, how the government you get on these programs to help people, but is nothing to help the landlord when they tear up your fucking property.
Right.
This lady cost me $18,000 worth of damage, and I literally did not get a dime from them.
And you didn't get to beat her ass.
And I didn't get to beat her ass, because if I got to beat her ass, they'd have locked me up.
Right.
And the bitch, and they let her have her certificate so she can go off to the next person and treat their properties like that.
That's baffling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really not, though, honestly.
And she had the audacity to ask me for her deposit back, which was $1,000. I said, bitch, I will put a knot on your head.
Yeah. It's not surprising that she tore up your house and then just was, because it happens so, honestly, it probably happens a lot. So much so that it's just like when you get arrested, like the log jam. They just trying to get people out of there.
I got my tires stolen off of my car, all 4 tires, and the cops didn't investigate it. And the people that stole my tires knew that they weren't ever going to investigate it. And so when there's no real penalties, it's like, so I'm not a libertarian because I just am selfish or wanted to lose every election. It's just that when you talk to so many people,
y'all do lose a lot of elections.
Every single one.
But you never vote Democrat?
Yeah, I vote Democrat. I vote Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, and an independent almost every election.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I vote.
Cause you just stay on that side, you a loser motherfucker.
Yeah, I am.
You like the Cleveland Browns.
It's like CPS.
Damn, you just trashed all your Cleveland listeners.
Yeah, they gonna have a good team this year.
Like CPS, I just had an instance where a friend, their kid's going through something, and it's because of the other parent. And the kid told the doctor, so the doctor called CPS. Well, a report was written. They show up to the parent that is the good parent's house to do the inspection, and they never show up to the bad parent's house because they have a lawyer. And everybody just sort of feels like, well, something was done. We called this government agency. Meanwhile, nothing ever changes for the kid.
No.
I mean,
they so fucked up. CPS here is so fucked up.
Yeah, you have all of these institutions that just... the bureaucracy allows you to hide and get away with bad behavior, and there's never any consequences, and it's just like it just doesn't work. Like, so I'm not surprised that they never faced any kind of consequences for it.
Like I have custody of my niece, 4 kids, right? And so she just up and left. She said, I see y'all later. Like, okay, bitch. What about these children? Just disappeared. Went on vacation, came back and said, I'm out this bitch, and left them. So this has been about 3-4 years ago now. Literally, when I went to them, I said, I don't want food stamps. I don't want Medicaid. All I want is child care. I don't want welfare. They said, no child care. I said, so what the fuck I supposed to do with 4 kids when I travel and I got 2 kids in high school? I don't give a fuck. So then they said, well, I sent CPS come out here. Can y'all just help me get daycare? They said, well, maybe you can be a foster parent. And then I started talking to them about my background. They said, oh, you a convicted felon? I'm like, yeah. Oh, well, you got to put the kids in the system. And if you put them in the system, you might not never get them back. Bitch, I'm not taking these kids through that for that little pussy ass shit y'all giving me. So I said, well, ma'am, I just want daycare. No, literally. They took it. They didn't give me shit for 4 fucking kids that I've been raising now for almost 5 years. But listen to this. This is how fucked up the system is. Chris, if you or Dion would have taken those kids, they'd have gave y'all a $700 a pop, and it's 4 of them.
Why?
Because you're no kin to them.
Oh, yeah. It just seems like government in general, from the president on down, rewards bad behavior. The worse you are, the less it works. Like if you're
the American way. What you talking about?
If you're a productive, it really is. Like if you're a decent, hardworking person, you get fucked every day.
You get fucked.
And if you are a piece of shit, you're gonna succeed. And I
call that Cowboys and Indians.
I'm telling you,
because the Indians was decent. They cared about the land. Cowboys was like, pew, pew, guns. Let me get that shit. Trail of Tears. That's literally how it fucking happened since people came over here. Shit was going fine and dandy. They fought, but the land was good. Fucking corporations came over here. The water's fucked up. And they just moved somewhere else.
It's like Game of Thrones.
It's like Isaiah Thomas. He failed at every fucking GM job he had, and he kept getting work. Right. He was the Pacers head coach, sucked. He was the Raptors GM, sucked. He went to the Knicks, sucked twice. He sucked twice, and they brought him. I was like, and he was getting paid the entire. I was like, He hasn't won anything anywhere since he left the Pistons.
Isaiah Thomas, that was a player
The
too.
basketball,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a Hall of
He
Famer.
left the Pistons. He won 2 championships with the Pistons.
Where is he now?
He's on NBA TV.
Yeah.
It's like, how does this motherfucker keep getting
Because
jobs?
he's fucking.
It's so amazing. He was
You're
bad
right.
at
They reward.
everything.
It's comedy too. They reward the bad ones.
I'm thinking
true.
of somebody right now that I hate so much and is such an asshole, and they just keep failing up, and you just go,
And if you say anything, you're a fucking hater.
oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you're a fucking hater. It's like,
Fucking hate.
But that
Yeah.
particular person, you just go, how does this person keep failing into great opportunities? What a piece of garbage.
Because they, like you said, it's like the government. They just keep rewarding bullshit. Me and Dion talk about this shit all the time since we moved away from welfare and crazy motherfucker. We moved into comedy. You look at comedy and you like, how the fuck do this person get this?
Yeah.
And I had a friend that tell me it's like it ain't even about being funny no more.
Yeah.
I think I'm fucking hilarious. Everyday conversation is fucking funny at my house.
Yeah.
But funny ain't doing a motherfucking thing for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you look at it like this motherfucker selling out theaters and they pretty much just talking about sucking dicks.
and it's like, honestly, I've seen some of these people that we've talked about live, and I watch the crowd. I'm like, what is it? Why do I not find that funny?
Right.
As a person in the industry, like, if anything, a comic should laugh at your joke because they get how you came up with it. I know where you're going with
Right.
it. So I should be like, that's funny.
Right.
And I'm just sitting back and I'm like, you could do so much more with that idea, and it's just shit.
It's politics too. I look at it and I go, why are you people falling for this?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what party, you just go, why are you saying this about immigration when it's verifiably untrue? It's just, I don't know what it is about the human animal, but
it's like everybody jump on the same fucking wagon and ride it out.
Pack animals.
It's like nobody want to do research for themselves. Nobody wants to say, like it's almost like it's like Hollywood too. All the movies, if they don't stop remaking those sitcoms and remaking movies, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm literally gonna kill myself if I see one more motherfucking movie from the 1980s remake.
If you see a live action Little Mermaid, it's over. Because it's coming.
Yeah, I'm like, people.
Just a disclaimer, if you'd like to hire Miss Pat for a remake of any of these things, please get in touch with her agent.
I'm like, do Hollywood have any fucking original ideals?
20 years from now, we're going to be doing Black Game of Thrones.
2019 Miss Pat. If I'm going to kill myself, 2020 Miss Pat. Yes, call me Wheezy.
I might have to be Wheezy for a paycheck.
We finally got a piece of
Moving on up, goddamn. If you gonna move me on up, I'm Wheezy. You can be George.
All right.
You could be fucking George.
I'd make
you
a great George.
Yeah, you can you moonwalk?
Yeah. For the right price.
I'm tired of them rewarding the bullshit. Whether it's in politics, whether it's in fucking being a lazy piece of shit, not giving your part to society, whether it's comedy or whatever. It sickens me. It fucking sickens me.
We empower it with the choices we make. Every dollar you spend, every click online, every vote that you make, we reward bad behavior. And if you're tired of it, you got to make new changes.
I can't look at no more the dog dick sucking videos.
You wouldn't believe.
I don't know why you would be looking at those.
Miss Pat,
not the dog dick sucking video, like the crazy videos I be sending you.
Yeah, Miss Pat sends me videos. My inbox with her looks like a World Star Instagram feed. I send to her.
She
She's
sent
like,
you the video of the stripper in Atlanta with the fucked up ass. Did you get that video?
I've watched 90% of them. She'll be like, "Have you watched that? That's so funny." I'm like, no. No.
Wait a minute. So when I click on that, I'm rewarding bad behavior because some of that shit. Yeah. Some of that, bro, Dion, you just watched the man get hit in the balls.
That shit was funny.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, some of that shit is like the fucking camera who stuck the man's head in his mouth.
The camel?
The camel.
The camel, yeah.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, these people aren't getting hurt. They're just the buffoons. I'm talking about, like, you're exploiting the tragic leg break of this college girl who's the gymnast that breaks up, and you just go, I'm not clicking on that. Like, that's just painfotainment. Like, it's the same human impulse that I'd go watch, Christians being killed in the Coliseum or a hanging. Like, you just go, that's gruesome.
I remember when that man's head got cut off the first time they cut. The only time they videotaped that man's head cut off.
Nick Berg and
I would
Al-Qaeda.
not watch that. I would not. My friends.
I remember watching Saddam get hung.
Yeah,
I remember watching that.
I didn't watch that either. I can't watch you kill nobody. Yeah. I don't give a fuck what you say they did. I can't do it.
I watched the Nick Berg video, and
how dare you?
I was like 18 maybe, and I just went, I will never watch anything like that again.
Yeah,
and
I'm like that too. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't find pleasure in actual death or like that shit's not funny. But if you get hit in the nuts with a fucking that video I showed you, like that.
Oh, a camel put your head in his mouth.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's funny. But like, I don't get off on that. I don't go looking for that. If it shows up on my timeline, I'll view it. But I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, let me find the next video of this guy getting his head chopped off. Or people will spend hours on YouTube.
Faces of Death. You
Yeah,
remember that when we were kids?
Yeah. Or 1,000 Ways to Die. That type of shit.
That used to creep me the fuck out.
I have no interest in any of that shit.
Me neither. So I mean, that's just what I do. I mean, I don't. I can't. I know. I can't watch certain shit like that. I don't want to see nobody die. I just want to see everybody pay their part. I don't mind helping anybody. Here come my daughter-in-law. It's always somebody coming to my fucking house.
This is the Grand Central Station.
It's damn near, and she got the code to the door too. Hey, daughter-in-law. It's just, and y'all got to remember, this is just all opinion. Well, this don't mean shit. It's just the way we feel, Chris, Dion, and I. I don't go out there talking about Miss Pat, talking about people on welfare because you're a goddamn lie. I'm not. I'm just giving you my point of view from being a landlord. The bitch tore up my house, and y'all hear my grandsons out there. Hurry up. Them motherfuckers out there, they going to take off your car?
What's happening right now is one of Miss Pat's
daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law. She too good for my son, y'all.
Really?
Yeah, she's too good for my son. So, but we're going to wrap it up because we fucking in.
There's phone calls coming in.
I got to go feed this dog.
Yeah.
My friend
I got to
Cortland.
go feed myself.
What, Cortland?
What up, Cortland?
We're doing a podcast. Say hi.
Oh, what's up, y'all? Hey, make sure they go on there, too.
Black folks always want fucking shout out.
I'm going on Judge Joe Brown.
What'd you say?
Shout the boy out. Shit, I'm trying to get on the episode.
Bye, baby. I love you. Yeah, get a bar and leave, please. Y'all, that's been Miss Pat, Dion, and Chris. Thank y'all for tuning in on another episode of The Pat Down. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of The Pat Down. Make sure you check out my website at misspatcomedy.com for all of my social media, my tour dates, my book. Make sure you spread the word about my podcast. Please rate and review. Please rate and review and share. Thank y'all so much, y'all. I've been Miss Pat.